power's been out for 11 days. Your insulin won't stay cold. Your neighbor knocks, offering firewood. But all you've got to trade? Canned beans? And they're sick of beans. I'm David, and I've been prepping since 2014. And let me tell you one hard lesson learned the hard way. Most survival lists are setting seniors up to fail. Here's the brutal truth that most people don't want to hear. After SHTF, gold, guns, and ammo aren't what move through the neighborhood. It's the cheap, overlooked, everyday stuff, items under $5, that become priceless. Look at Ontario this past January, during the ice storm that left 400,000 without power. A retired teacher traded 12 rolls of duct tape worth $4 at Walmart for 2 weeks of propane, not ammo, not cash, duct tape. Today, I'm sharing the 20 cheap, shelf-stable items most preppers ignore, but that seniors can buy right now for under $5 each, and trade for food, fuel, or even medical help when the grid fails. And number 7, it's already in your bathroom, and in a real crisis, it's worth more than silver. Now's the time. U.S. pantry prices jumped 18.2% in the last year. BLS, October 2025. Barter groups online, up 210% in 2024. Supply chains are fraying from the Red Sea to your local pharmacy. These aren't just survival items, they're your insurance, your leverage, your lifeline, and you can grab them all before the next outage hits. Item 1. Isopropyl alcohol wipes. You've probably seen them in first aid kits or next to hand sanitizer, but don't let their simplicity fool you. These little pre-moistened wipes are one of the most overlooked barter gems on the shelf. Most preppers grab bottles of liquid alcohol, but those leak, spill, and are a pain to carry. Wipes? They're individually sealed, pocket-sized, and ready to use with zero mess. That's why they fly off the table in real barter scenarios, especially for cleaning wounds, sanitizing hands when water's scarce, or wiping down critical gear like solar panel contacts or two-way radio dials. During Puerto Rico's 2024 blackout, people traded them like gold for exactly those reasons. Right now, a 100-count pack runs between $2.99 and $6.49 at Walmart, Amazon, or drugstores. But here's the kicker. Dollar Tree still has a 120-count pack for just $1.25 while supplies last. Prices have jumped 22% since 2023 due to medical supply inflation, WSJ July 2025, and big brands are hitting stock delays from China, Bloomberg, September 2025. If stored sealed in a cool, dry place, they last 3 to 5 years and kill 99.99% of germs. EPA certified. Real users rave. One Texas senior said they saved my diabetic foot during a week-long outage. Just don't leave them in a hot car. The alcohol evaporates fast if the packaging's compromised. Pro move, bundle a pack with latex gloves to create a mini first responder kit. Neighbors will trade firewood or eggs for that in a heartbeat. Sure, you could DIY them with 91% alcohol and paper towels, but nobody's bartering a soggy homemade pouch when a factory-sealed wipe is right there. Item 2. Dental floss. Don't laugh, this tiny spool is a survival powerhouse most preppers completely ignore. Sure, it's for your teeth, but in a crisis, that strong wax thread becomes emergency cordage, suture material, fishing line, or even fire starter. While everyone stocks paracord and duct tape, dental floss slips under the radar, yet it's lightweight, lasts forever, and fits in your pocket. During the 2024 Appalachian winter outages, barter groups listed it as one of the top 5 most requested items, Prepper Survey, August 2025. Why? Because it's tough. Oral-B's waxed floss holds over 50 pounds of tension, and it's sterile right out of the package. You can stitch a deep cut, lash kindling into a fire bundle, or fix broken eyeglass frames when help is days away. Best part? It costs almost nothing. At Dollar General, you'll find 55-yard spools for just 89 cents. Walmart and CVS carry them for under $2.50. Unlike fancy survival gear, it never expires and takes up zero space. Just avoid flavored or unwaxed versions. They attract animals or snap too easily. Real users on Reddit and YouTube consistently praise its versatility. Fixed my bootlace, my radio antenna, and my dog's collar, all with one spool. And because it's so cheap and common, most people don't hoard it, which means it'll be scarce fast when shelves empty. Pair it with alcohol wipes and rubber bands, and you've got a silent, lightweight trade kit that screams, "I'm prepared," without ever saying a word. Item 3. Unscented baby wipes. Think baby wipes are just for diapers? think again. In a prolonged outage, clean water becomes precious. So wasting it to wash hands, face, or even dishes is a luxury few can afford. That's where unscented baby wipes step in as a silent hero. They're gentle, hydrating, and perfect for personal hygiene when showers aren't an option, especially for seniors with sensitive skin. But their real power? Barter appeal. During the 2024 Ontario ice storm, families traded them for firewood and canned goods because they kept kids clean, reduced infection risk, and even doubled as quick surface cleaners. Unlike antibacterial wipes, these don't dry out skin with daily use, making them ideal for long-term comfort. Right now, a 240 count pack at Walmart costs about $3.44. Costco's Kirkland brand offers 800 wipes for $7.99, less than a penny per wipe. And despite their name, avoid scented or refreshing versions. They contain alcohol or fragrances that irritate skin over time. Stick to fragrance-free, hypoallergenic packs labeled for sensitive skin. Stock levels are still decent, but supply chains are tightening due to pulp shortages. Reuters, April 2025. Shelf life? Up to 2 years if sealed, longer if stored in a cool, dark place. Real users in rural blackout zones call them dignity in a pack. One Montana prepper wrote, "Used them to clean my mom's catheter area during a 10-day outage. No infections, no stress." And here's the kicker. Neighbors with kids or elderly parents will trade almost anything for a fresh pack. Keep a few sealed packs in your barter stash. You'll be surprised how fast they disappear and how much goodwill they buy you. Item 4, hydrogen peroxide. You've probably got a brown bottle of this sitting under your sink right now, and it might just be one of the most underrated crisis multi-tools in your home. Hydrogen peroxide isn't just for cleaning scrapes. At 3% concentration, it's a powerful disinfectant, wound cleaner, oral rinse, surface sanitizer, and even a water purifier in a pinch. What makes it special? It breaks down into just water and oxygen, no toxic residue, so it's safe for use around food, kids, and pets. During the 2024 Midwest flood response, community aid groups handed out hydrogen peroxide to sanitize kitchens and prevent disease outbreaks when bleach ran out. CDC Field Report, August 2024. Most preppers overlook it because it's too basic, but that's exactly why it's valuable. Right now, a 32-ounce bottle costs $1.49 at Dollar General, $1.98 at Walmart, and $2.29 on Amazon. Prices have stayed stable, but shelf life is the catch. Once opened, it degrades in 3 to 6 months. So buy fresh bottles and mark the opening date with a marker. Store it in a dark, cool place. Light kills its potency fast. For long-term prep, rotate every 6 months or keep unopened backups. Real users swear by it. Used it to clean my well pump parts and treat my dog's ear infection. Same bottle, one Ohio homesteader commented in September 2025. And in a barter economy, it's gold for anyone with wounds, sick kids, or contaminated water. Just remember, never mix it with vinegar or bleach. Toxic fumes result. Keep it simple, labeled, and sealed. And if you pair it with cotton balls, item number 11, you've got a sterile wound care kit anyone would trade for. Item 5, latex or nitrile gloves. Gloves might seem like a no-brainer, but most preppers forget them until it's too late. In a real crisis, your hands are your first line of defense against infection, contamination, and injury. Whether you're changing a dirty bandage, handling waste, cleaning up flood debris, or caring for a sick neighbor, bare hands are a liability. That's why a simple box of powder-free exam gloves becomes quietly invaluable. During the 2024 norovirus outbreak in rural nursing homes after grid failures, staff traded gloves for antibiotics and batteries, AP Health Report, November 2024. Nitrile is slightly better than latex. It's stronger, hypoallergenic, and resistant to chemicals. But both work. Right now, you can grab a 100-count box for $4.99 at Walmart, $3.75 at Costco, or even $2.99 at Harbor Freight. Yes, really. Dollar Tree sometimes carries 50 packs for $1.25, though stock is spotty. Shelf life? Up to 5 years if stored away from heat and sunlight. Just avoid powdered gloves. They leave residue and can worsen respiratory issues in dusty environments. Real users praise their versatility. Use them to safely dispose of spoiled food after our fridge died. No smell on my hands for days, wrote a Michigan prepper in June 2025. And here's the barter secret. Seniors, caregivers, and parents will trade canned goods or fuel for a fresh, sealed box. Why? Because once gloves run out, people improvise with plastic bags, which tear, sweat, and offer zero protection. Store yours in a dry bin with your first aid kit, and consider bundling with alcohol wipes, item number 1, for an instant clean care trade pack. It's not glamorous, but in a world where one cut can turn deadly, gloves are worth far more than their weight. Item 6. Cotton balls. Don't let their softness fool you. Cotton balls are a silent workhorse in any real survival scenario. Lightweight, sterile, and endlessly useful, they're one of those items that vanish from shelves the moment a crisis hits. Yet almost no one thinks to stockpile them. Why? Because they do 10 jobs at once. Need to stop minor bleeding? Pack a wound with cotton, filtering murky water through a cloth, layer cotton first to trap silt, cleaning gun parts, applying antiseptic, or soaking up oil spills. Cotton balls handle it all. During the 2025 Texas freeze, one community clinic ran out of gauze and switched to sterilized cotton balls for wound care, Texas Medical Reserve Corps report, February 2025. The key is 100% pure cotton. No synthetics, no perfumes. Those fake cotton-like pads melt or leave fibers in wounds. Right now, a 360-count plastic jar costs $2.44 at Walmart, $1.99 at Dollar General, and as low as $1.25 at Dollar Tree when in stock. Shelf life is indefinite if kept dry and sealed. No expiration date needed. Just toss them in a Ziploc if the jar cracks. Real users love them for stealth prep. Wrapped a cotton ball in foil with petroleum jelly, best fire starter I've ever made, shared a Colorado prepper in August 2025. And in barter, they're quietly in demand. Diabetics use them for foot care, parents clean babies' faces, mechanics wipe down tools. Unlike bulky gauze or fancy kits, a jar of cotton balls fits under the sink and looks totally normal until it's not. Pair it with hydrogen peroxide, item number 4, or alcohol wipes, item number 1, and you've got an instant medical combo people will trade for without hesitation. Simple? Yes. Overlooked? Absolutely. Valuable? More than you think. Item 7. Tampons. Here's the item sitting in your bathroom right now that could be worth more than silver when the grid fails. Tampons aren't just for menstruation. They're one of the most versatile, high-demand barter items in any prolonged crisis. Made of 100% cotton, they absorb up to 10 times their weight in liquid, making them perfect for wound packing, water filtration, fire tinder, or even emergency insulation for small electronics. During Puerto Rico's 2024 blackout, tampons were traded alongside painkillers and batteries, especially by medics treating trauma in off-grid clinics. AP, December 2024. Preppers often skip them out of discomfort or assumption, but that's exactly why they're valuable. Nobody hoards them, so they disappear fast. Stick to unscented, no applicator versions. Applicators take up space, and plastic isn't useful. Cotton core tampons compress tightly and burn slowly, making them ideal fire starters when dipped in petroleum jelly. Right now, a 36-count box costs $2.50 at Walmart, $2. $25 at Target, and $1.25 at Dollar Tree when available. Shelf life? Indefinite if kept dry, no expiration. Real users in disaster zones swear by them. Used one to stop my husband's leg bleed after a chainsaw accident. Doctor said it saved his femoral artery, a Kentucky viewer wrote in March 2025. And here's the barter edge. Nurses, EMTs, and mothers know their medical value and will trade food, fuel, or medicine for a sealed box. Just avoid ultra-thin or scented varieties. They contain rayon or fragrances that don't burn well or irritate wounds. Store them in a waterproof bag and consider bundling with cotton balls, item number 6, and alcohol wipes, item number 1, for a compact trauma kit. It might sound strange now, but in a world where sterile, absorbent material is rare, a box of tampons isn't just useful, it's priceless. Item 8, baking soda. You probably use it to freshen your fridge or bake cookies, but in a crisis, baking soda transforms into a multi-purpose survival essential that most preppers never stock in bulk. It's non-toxic, shelf-stable for decades, and solves problems most people don't even know they'll face. Got heartburn from stress eating canned food? A teaspoon in water brings instant relief. Need to neutralize odors in a room with no ventilation? Sprinkle it on floors or in trash bins. Water tastes off from your rain barrel. Baking soda helps balance pH and reduce metallic taste. During the 2024 boil water advisory in Michigan, families used it to deodorize laundry when detergent ran out. EPA Community Resilience Report, May 2024. And it's not just for comfort, it's practical. Mix it with water to clean cookware without scratching, soothe insect bites, or even extinguish small grease fires. The key, food-grade aluminum-free baking soda, Arm & Hammer is the gold standard. Right now, a 26-ounce box costs just 79 cents at Walmart or 68 cents at Aldi, less than $1 for a lifetime supply. Shelf life? Indefinite if kept dry and sealed. Real users call it the quiet problem solver. Used it to clean my dentures, deodorize my boots, and calm my dog's upset stomach all in 1 week without power, shared a New Mexico prepper in July 2025. And in barter, it's low-key gold. Seniors trade for it to manage acid reflux when antacids vanish. Parents use it for diaper rash. Campers rely on it for hygiene. Keep a few boxes sealed in Mylar or airtight bins, because while everyone hoards beans and bullets, almost no one thinks to grab baking soda until they desperately need it. Item 9. Ziploc freezer bags. Forget fancy dry bags or vacuum sealers. When SHTF, the humble Ziploc freezer bag, becomes one of your most traded and reused survival tools. Thicker than regular storage bags, freezer-grade Ziplocs resist punctures, hold liquids without leaking, and can be washed and reused dozens of times. Need to keep your phone dry in a rainstorm? Bag it. Filtering water through layers of cloth and sand, use a bag as your first container. Portioning out precious fuel, storing wet clothes, or even making an emergency ice pack? Done. During the 2025 Ohio River floods, rescue teams handed out freezer bags to families so they could keep IDs, cash, and meds dry. Many later reused them for food storage when pantries ran low. FEMA After Action Report, April 2025. Most preppers overlook them because they're just plastic, but that's their advantage. Nobody hoards them, so they vanish fast. Right now, a 100-count box of gallon freezer bags costs $4.94 at Walmart, $3.99 at Costco, and even $2.50 at Dollar Tree. When in stock, grab them fast. Shelf life? Unlimited if stored flat and dry. Real users rave about their versatility. Used one to carry clean water from the creek, another to store my insulin cool in a damp cloth. Lifesavers, wrote a Tennessee viewer in September 2025. And in barter, parents, hikers, and seniors will trade canned goods for a sealed box, especially since damaged or thin bags fail when you need them most. Pro tip, keep a mix of quart and gallon sizes and never use them for hot liquids. They'll melt. Store them flat in a dry bin, and remember, each bag you reuse is one less piece of trash and one more problem solved. Simple? Yes. Essential? Absolutely. Item 10. Petroleum jelly. That unassuming blue jar in your medicine cabinet, it's a crisis Swiss Army knife disguised as lip balm. Petroleum jelly, real Vaseline, not the off-brands, has dozens of survival uses most people never consider, and it lasts practically forever. Got chapped lips, cracked heels, or skin rubbed raw from ill-fitting boots? A thin layer seals in moisture and prevents infection. Need to waterproof matches or tinder? Coat them lightly, they'll light even in rain. Got a squeaky hinge on your bug-out bag or a sticky zipper on your tent? Rub a dab, problem solved. During the 2024 Canadian winter outages, seniors used it to prevent frost nip on ears and noses when heat failed. Public Health Ontario, January 2025. It's also sterile, non-toxic, and doubles as a lubricant for medical devices or even a base for homemade antiseptic salves when mixed with iodine. The key is 100% pure petroleum jelly. Check the label. Vaseline brand is ideal. Right now, a 14-ounce jar costs $1.97 at Walmart, $1.75 at Target, and sometimes $1.25 at Dollar Tree. Stock varies. Shelf life? Indefinite. The FDA classifies it as stable for decades if sealed. Real users call it magic goop. Used it to seal a small cut on my hand, keep my glasses from fogging, and start a fire with cotton balls. Same jar. Shared an Oregon prepper in August 2025. And in barter, it's quietly in demand. Elderly neighbors trade for it to protect fragile skin. Parents use it for diaper rash. Mechanics use it to prevent rust. Store it in a cool, dark place. Heat won't spoil it, but light can degrade quality over years. Skip the tiny travel tubes. Go for the big jar. Because when comfort, protection, and fire starting all come from one $2 item, you're not just prepping, you're preparing to help others too. Item 11. Safety pins. Small, silent, and endlessly useful. Safety pins are the ultimate invisible survival tool that vanish from stores the moment trouble hits. Most people toss them in a junk drawer and forget them until a shirt rips, a backpack strap snaps, or a diaper needs emergency fastening. But their real power goes far beyond clothing repairs. In a crisis, safety pins become wound closure aids, butterfly closures, gear lashings, fishing hooks, lockpicks, or even makeshift buttons for winter coats. During the 2024 Montana cold snap, community aid workers handed out safety pins to seniors to secure layers of clothing when zippers failed in sub-zero temps. Montana Disaster Response Log, February 2024. They're lightweight, rust-resistant, if stainless steel, and last forever. Right now, a 100-count assorted pack costs $1.29 at Walmart, 99 cents at Dollar General, and just $0. 50 at Dollar Tree, often near the sewing supplies. Shelf life forever. Real users praise their versatility. Used one to fix my eyeglass arm, another to pin my dog's torn harness, and a third to close a deep gash on my nephew's arm until we got cell service, wrote a Wyoming viewer in June 2025. And in barter, they're shockingly valuable. Tailors, parents, and medics all need them, and most people run out fast because they never stock up. Look for nickel-plated or stainless steel. Avoid cheap, brittle pins that snap under tension. Store them in a small metal tin to prevent loss and rust. And here's a pro tip. Thread a few with bright paracord to create instant emergency repair kits you can trade or gift. Don't underestimate them. In a world where gear fails and resources shrink, a handful of safety pins can hold your whole situation together. Literally. Item 12. Iodized table salt. Salt isn't just for flavor, it's a biological necessity, a food preserver, and a surprisingly powerful barter commodity that most preppers ignore until it's too late. Your body can't make sodium, and in a prolonged crisis with limited food variety, salt deficiency causes fatigue, cramps, and even heart issues, especially in seniors. Beyond health, iodized salt preserves meat and fish, treats dehydration when mixed into oral rehydration solutions, and even melts ice on walkways in winter. During the 2024 Brazilian drought, a major global salt producer, U.S. prices spiked 14% overnight, and rural communities began rationing table salt like medicine. Reuters, March 2025. That's why stocking up now matters. Grab iodized salt specifically. It prevents thyroid issues when fresh food is scarce. Right now, a 26-ounce box costs just 68 cents at Aldi, 79 cents at Walmart, or $1.25 for a 32-ounce at Costco. For serious prepping, buy the 4-pound canister. It's under $3 and lasts years. Shelf life, indefinite if kept dry. Add a few grains of rice to the container to absorb moisture. Real users rely on it daily. Used salt brine to preserve venison after our freezer died, ate well for months. Shared a Vermont homesteader in October 2025. And in barter, it's gold. Hunters, gardeners, and families with kids all need it. And once stores run out, neighbors will trade coffee, batteries, or even ammo for a sealed box. Just avoid sea salt or gourmet varieties. They lack iodine and cost 5 times more. Store it in airtight containers away from humidity. And remember, in a world where calories are scarce and health is fragile, salt isn't a spice, it's survival. Item 13, rubber bands. Don't let their simplicity fool you. Rubber bands are one of the most quietly versatile items you can hoard for under $1. Lighter than duct tape, cheaper than zip ties, and more flexible than paracord for small tasks. They solve endless micro problems that pile up fast when the grid's down. Broken eyeglasses? Wrap a rubber band around the hinge. Need to bundle kindling for a fire? Done. Securing a tarp over a leaky roof, keeping a jar lid from slipping in wet hands, or even making a DIY slingshot for pest control? All possible. During the 2025 Kentucky ice storm, utility crews used rubber bands to temporarily hold together damaged fiber optic lines until repairs arrived. Louisville Emergency Response Bulletin, January 2025. Most preppers skip them because they seem trivial, but that's exactly why they become scarce fast. Right now, a 500-count assorted pack costs $1. 25 at Dollar Tree, $2.49 at Walmart, or $1.99 at Office Depot. Shelf life? 2 to 5 years if stored away from heat, sunlight, and ozone, so don't keep them near motors or in your car. Real users swear by them. Fixed my blood pressure cuff strap, bundled my firewood, and kept my rain poncho cinched tight, all with the same handful, wrote an Ohio senior in August 2025. And in barter? Teachers, office workers, gardeners, and crafters will trade canned goods for a fresh pack, especially since old bands snap when you need them most. Pro tip, store them in a cool, dark drawer or sealed container and avoid colored or scented novelty bands. They degrade faster. Keep a small stash in your everyday carry and a bulk pack in your barter bin, because when everything's breaking and resources are stretched thin, sometimes all it takes to hold your world together is a simple rubber band. Item 14, aluminum foil. You use it to cover leftovers, but in a crisis, aluminum foil becomes a silent powerhouse for cooking, signaling, repair, and even medical care. Heavy-duty foil is thicker, less likely to tear, and reusable if handled carefully. Wrap food for ash-free cooking over coals. Create a solar reflector to boost your solar charger's output by 30%. Line a makeshift funnel or patch a small hole in a water container. During the 2024 California wildfire evacuations, families used foil to shield car interiors from radiant heat and signal rescue helicopters by flashing sunlight. Cal Fire After Action Report, September 2024. It's also invaluable for senior preppers. Mold foil into a custom splint, use it to keep medications cool, or reflect heat back into a sleeping bag on cold nights. Most people buy the cheap stuff, but heavy duty lasts longer and performs better under stress. Right now, a 200 square foot roll costs $3.97 at Walmart, $2.99 at Aldi, and $4.49 at Costco for a double roll. Item 15, bar soap. Forget liquid hand soap. It leaks, freezes, and runs out fast. A simple bar of unscented soap is one of the most durable, long-lasting hygiene tools you can stockpile, and it's shockingly valuable when clean water is scarce. Real bar soap like Ivory, Fels, Naphtha, or Zota cleans skin, clothes, dishes, and even wounds without relying on pumps or plastic bottles. During the 2024 Mississippi River floods, relief teams prioritized bar soap over liquid because it lasted longer, didn't spill, and worked in cold water. CDC Hygiene Guidelines, July 2024. Ivory floats, making it perfect for washing in buckets or streams. Fels Naphtha tackles grease, stains, and even poison ivy oil, handy when laundry detergent vanishes. Most preppers overlook soap because it seems too basic, but that's why it's a barter gem. Right now, a 6-pack of Ivory, 4.5 ounces each, costs $3.98 at Walmart, $2.99 at Dollar General, and $1.25 for a 3-pack at Dollar Tree, when available. Shelf life? 10 plus years if stored dry. Soap hardens over time but works even better. Real users rely on it daily. Washed my clothes, my dog's paws, and my cast iron skillet, all with the same bar after our well failed, wrote a Georgia viewer in October 2025. And in trade, families, gardeners, and mechanics will swap canned goods or firewood for a sealed pack, especially unscented hypoallergenic bars that won't irritate sensitive skin. Avoid beauty or moisturizing soaps. They contain oils that go rancid. Stick to pure, dye-free, fragrance-free bars. Store them in a ventilated bin with newspaper to absorb moisture. Because when hygiene means health and health means survival, a humble bar of soap isn't just clean, it's currency. Item 16, bleach. This isn't just for laundry. It's your lifeline to clean water and disease prevention when the tap runs dry. But here's the catch. Only unscented regular household bleach with 8.25% sodium hypochlorite works for emergency water purification. Splashless ultra punch or scented versions contain thickeners and fragrances that are toxic when ingested. During the 2025 Ohio water crisis, families who had plain bleach on hand safely treated thousands of gallons of questionable water, while others waited for bottled shipments. EPA Emergency Bulletin, February 2025. Just 2 drops per quart, 8 per gallon, kills bacteria, viruses, and protozoa, making unsafe water drinkable in 30 minutes. It also disinfects surface, sanitizes food prep areas, and even whitens cloth for emergency signaling. Right now, an 88-ounce jug of Clorox or generic unscented bleach costs $3.44 at Walmart, $2.99 at Target, and $2.50 at Costco. Shelf life? 6 months after opening, but 12 months unopened if stored in a cool, dark place. Mark your jug with the purchase date and rotate every 6 to 12 months. Real users depend on it. Treated creek water for 2 weeks after the hurricane. No one got sick, shared a Florida prepper in September 2025. And in barter, it's quietly in demand. Parents, nurses, and community leaders will trade fuel or food for a sealed jug, especially as shortages hit due to chlorine supply chain disruptions. Bloomberg, August 2025. Pro tip, store it off concrete floors, chemical reaction degrades plastic, and never mix it with ammonia or vinegar. Deadly fumes result. Skip the fancy versions. Stick to plain, unscented 8.25% because when clean water disappears, a $3 jug of bleach isn't just useful. It's the difference between life and illness. Item 17. Canned sardines in oil, also 4.37 ounces, 12 pack. Don't turn your nose up at sardines. They're one of the most nutrient-dense, shelf-stable, and barter-friendly proteins you can buy for under $15. Packed with omega-3s, calcium, vitamin D, and complete protein, they're a nutritional powerhouse that requires no cooking, refrigeration, or prep. During the 2024 Puerto Rico blackout, clinics distributed canned sardines to seniors to combat malnutrition when fresh food vanished. Pan American Health Organization, November 2024. Unlike beans or tuna, sardines come in oil, which adds calories and healthy fats, critical when energy is scarce. The oil can even double as lamp fuel or skin moisturizer in a pinch. Most preppers skip them due to taste myths, but that's their advantage. Low demand now means high value later. Right now, a 12-pack of Brunswick or Seasoned brands costs $12. $9.99 at Walmart, $10.49 at Costco, and sometimes $8.99 at Aldi. Shelf life? 4 to 5 years if stored cool and dry. Check the best by date, but they often last longer. Real users swear by them. Ate one a day for protein during a 3-week outage. Felt stronger than neighbors on just rice and beans, wrote a Maine retiree in July 2025. And in barter, fishermen, health-conscious families, and keto preppers will trade coffee, batteries, or even ammo for a sealed pack. Choose skinless, boneless if you're new to them, but don't fear bones. They're soft, edible, and packed with calcium. Store packs upright to prevent seam stress. Skip water packed, they dry out faster. And remember, in a world where protein vanishes first, a humble can of sardines isn't just food, it's fuel, medicine, and trade gold all in one. Item 18, cotton t-shirts, white 100% cotton multi-pack. You might not think of clothing as a survival item, but plain white cotton t-shirts are a hidden barter asset and practical resource most preppers never stock. Beyond wearing them, 100% cotton shirts can be cut into bandages, wound dressings, water filters, fire tinder, or cleaning rags. During the 2025 Canadian wildfire evacuations, medical volunteers tore up donated white t-shirts to make sterile gauze when first aid supplies ran out low. Red Cross Field Report, August 2025. The key is 100% cotton. Polyester blends melt when burned and don't absorb liquids well. White is best because it shows contamination clearly and can be bleached clean if water allows. Right now, a 6-pack of basic white tees costs $9.99 at Walmart, $7.99 at Hanes.com, and even $5 at Dollar Tree when in stock, sizes limited. Shelf life? Indefinite if stored dry and moth-free. Real users repurpose them endlessly. Cut one into strips for my dog's paw wrap, used another as a dust mask during smoke season, shared an Oregon viewer in September 2025. And in barter, they're quietly valuable. Parents need them for kids, nurses want them for medical use, mechanics use them as shop rags. A sealed multi-pack signals I've got extras, making you a go-to neighbor in crisis. Store them folded in vacuum bags or plastic bins with cedar blocks to deter pests. Skip graphic tees or blends. They're less useful and harder to sanitize. Because when fabric becomes scarce and every square inch of clean cloth matters, a stack of plain white t-shirts isn't just clothing. It's comfort, care, and currency, all rolled into one. Item 19, vinegar. White distilled, 128-ounce jug. Item 19, vinegar. White distilled, 128-ounce jug. That big jug of white vinegar under your sink does far more than clean windows. It's a non-toxic, multi-use survival staple that lasts indefinitely and solves problems most preppers don't plan for. Need to purify questionable water? Vinegar won't kill viruses, but it neutralizes odors and reduces bacteria when used with other methods. Got lice, fungal infections, or itchy bug bites? A diluted rinse soothes skin naturally. Trying to preserve garden harvest without canning lids? Vinegar-based pickling keeps veggies edible for months. During the 2024 Midwest food shortages, rural families used vinegar to stretch limited produce through winter. USDA Community Resilience Brief, October 2024. It also cleans cookware without harsh chemicals, deodorizes laundry, and even boosts battery terminal conductivity in a pinch. Most people overlook it because it's just vinegar, but that's why it's valuable. Nobody hoards it, so it disappears fast when shelves thin out. Right now, a gallon, 128 ounces of Heinz or generic white distilled vinegar costs $2.44 at Walmart, $1.99 at Aldi, and $2.29 at Target. Shelf life? Indefinite. It may darken over time, but it never spoils. Real users rely on it daily. Used it to clean my CPAP machine, pickle cucumbers, and calm my daughter's sunburn, all from the same jug, wrote a Missouri prepper in August 2025. And in barter, gardeners, homesteaders, and health-conscious neighbors will trade eggs, honey, or herbs for a sealed jug, especially as supply chains tighten. Vinegar demand jumped 18% in 2025 per Nielsen. Store it in a cool, dark place. Plastic jugs are fine, but avoid metal lids long-term. Corrosion risk. Skip apple cider or cleaning vinegar. They're less versatile. Stick to 5% acidity white distilled. Because when chemicals vanish and natural solutions rule, a $2 jug of vinegar isn't just pantry filler. It's your silent, shelf-stable Swiss Army knife. Item 20. Candles. Unscented 8-hour emergency variety 100 pack. When the power dies and batteries run low, light becomes more than convenience. It's safety, sanity, and signaling. But forget the fancy aromatherapy jars. Unscented 8-hour emergency candles, the small, white, dripless kind, are the unsung heroes of long-term outages. They're cheap, compact, and surprisingly efficient. One candle can heat a small tent corner, melt snow for water, or keep insulin just cool enough to last a few extra hours. During the January 2025 Ontario ice storm, families used them not just for light, but to prevent pipes from freezing in bathrooms by placing them near exposed lines. CBC, February 2025. Unlike tea lights in flimsy cups, quality emergency candles burn clean, steady, and leave minimal soot, critical for indoor air quality. Most preppers focus on flashlights and forget that light without heat is half the solution. Right now, a 100 pack of UCO or Sterno 8-hour candles costs $12.99 at Walmart, $9.99 at Costco, and even $6.50 at Dollar Tree while supplies last. Stock is spotty in 2025. Shelf life, 10 plus years if stored in a cool, dry place away from dust. Real users depend on them. Burned 2 a night for 11 days, never touched our lantern batteries, shared a Vermont retiree in February 2025. And in barter, seniors, parents, and night shift workers will trade canned goods or firewood for a sealed pack, especially as supply chains strain, candle wax, shortages hit U.S. producers in mid-2025 per Bloomberg. Pro tip, store them in their original box or a sealed bin to prevent odor absorption. Never use scented candles indoors during outages. The fumes can trigger respiratory issues. And remember, in total darkness, one small flame isn't just light, it's hope, heat, and humanity, all in a 6-cent stick of wax. Let's be real. When the next big outage hits, whether it's a storm, a grid failure, or another supply shock, you won't be trading gold bars or fancy gear. You'll be trading what's useful, portable, and desperately needed. And as we've shown, that's not ammo or MRES. It's duct tape, tampons, salt, candles, and baby wipes. The quiet, cheap, everyday items most people walk past at Dollar Tree. These 20 items won't break your budget. Most cost less than $5, and many are under $2. But together, they form a barter backbone that could get you food, fuel, medicine, or even protection when your usual safety nets vanish. And for seniors or anyone on a fixed income, that's not just smart prep, it's dignity, independence, and community trust. Now, more than ever, timing matters. Inflation's rising, supply chains are fragile, and shelves are emptier than they've been in decades. What's cheap and available today might be gone or triple the price by next month. So don't wait for the warning siren. Go grab a few of these this week. Start small, stock one shelf, then another. You're not just prepping for yourself, you're becoming the neighbor others can count on. Before you go, drop a comment below. Which of these 20 items surprised you the most? And have you already seen shortages or price spikes near you? Maybe painkillers disappearing, batteries doubling in cost, or toilet paper vanishing again? Your observation could be the early alert someone else needs to act. If this video opened your eyes to a smarter, quieter way to prepare, hit that like button. It helps more seniors and budget-conscious preppers find this life-saving info. Subscribe and tap the bell, because every Tuesday, I break down practical, research-backed ways to stay safe, self-reliant, and ready without wasting a single dollar.